Following the power lines, and your skin is so white. Underneath the black night, and your voice cries out for the cool day grace, and the lights go out. Will there be a trace that I love, Sylvia?
I see where this road ends.
That I love, Sylvia.
As you onward. Of course. My despair increases. A mind sharper than any blade. Very good.
First blood, bang, and dash.
Speed is the heart of battle. Quickly! Line of sight.
同属皖州。
Combine and conquer.
说两句的话，还一定拍小点。
不一碗粥，还想再来第二碗？
哎，一周一好，两个打死了，打飞机，就打这个，就打这个钱就是钱。别看我马上到，我已经注意到你了。亚军我要练。有不保你这样坑队友，坑队友的钱。快打！快打！
同属皖州。
Your middle tower is under attack.
Monster kill. 好的，欢迎回来。那么刚刚进行因为在中期其实打出了3到4波不敌的团战，送出了有10到15个的人头。在这种形势下，还是场面上有局部在掌握的一个领先。
Your middle tower is under attack.
然后输了4波，发现好像阿斯塔有点机会来了，但是在带队一波推下路2塔的时候，被队长。
Damascus guides me.
Oh, okay, that was a bad idea. Fuck.
Combine and conquer. A grand design.
Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the ECL, or the Esports Championship League, sponsored by Red Bull. Of course, I am Luminous. I'm joined by Merlini. How's your farmer tank going?
Pretty good. Not bad. Not so bad.
Speed
Not as bad as
is
yours.
the heart of
I don't know, farmer tank. Looks so light up here.
You call yourself an Asian.
The sweat is glistening up in this.
Onward.
Of course, it's Orange Esport versus Rising Star. This is game 2 of a best of 3 situation with Orange Esport up 1 game. But
Very cool.
before we want to jump into the draft, I think the big storyline we got out of last
Never
game
mind.
is how well the Orange support were playing. Maybe not really apparent in the early game phase because they were mostly defensive when they were using defensive disrupt, living armor,
I
and all that
see
stuff.
where this
But
road
once the big
ends.
team fire came out, and once it got to crunch time, the support just took over.
Yep.
And that's not something you can say too much about most
Clutch
other teams.
factor.
Yeah,
Matrix
clutch factor
finds
from
me.
supports. But with that said, let's actually jump into the draft. Rising Star on the Radiant side this time.
Of
And our
course.
Chinese stream is dying on the background. And of course, the Orange is going to be on the dire. Look at the support lineup, or the carry lineup here from Rising Star. Alchemist and Lifestealer once again.
Yeah, Alchemist is, I mean, seen time and time again how much he can farm, how much of a pain in the butt he is to deal with, and synergizes very well with a lot of other physical damage heroes because of the acid spray. Very good at taking out Roshan, just safe lane farming Beast, a lot of HP, natural tankiness, hard to
Your
gank. The
middle
list goes on
tower
and
is
on
under
as to why
attack.
Alchemist is constantly first pick. And on top of that, he's flexible.
Face
He can be
enemy.
carry, he can
Face
be a support, and he can be in the mid. So this hero can just do a little bit of everything.
But the biggest thing is that you pick up the Lifestealer, you gotta ban the Razor. The Chinese team have been banning it, and Rising Star fell prey to Mushi's Razor in that previous game. They will get rid of it. Though Mushi, I'm not sure that what he cares about Razor being banned out. He has such a wide hero pool on the mid lane. We've seen him play anything and everything in between. You know, Mirana, for example, is still in the position, to the more standard
Our
Queen of Pain,
roleplay
that sort of heroes.
ends.
Yeah, I would just say I wouldn't actually think that Razor is like ban worthy just because you picked this Life Sealer. There's a lot of other heroes that just cause tons of problems, like Dark Seer can just surge away, Shadow Demon already banned out with the defensive disruption and the purge. I just don't really feel that Razor made or break for him last game. Sure, Mushi played decently and it was like constantly annoying for him because he had to pop his Infest cooldown a little bit early to get rid of the static link or bounce in and out of combat. But in terms of like actually banning the hero, I don't think. But Rising Star disagrees.
Yeah, he was actually quite annoying to deal with early on. Like, they had trouble killing him. Mushi was able to kill a ton of damage against him. Pretty lackluster. I think it's okay when you run double melee carries in the form of Alchemist and Lifestealer. I think it's really man. It's one of those heroes that beats fight. I think I would rather even deal with a popular.
Well, Orange looks like they have picked Busy the Windrunner. We've seen Windrunner sometimes from Mushi in the mid lane, so it's not a support winner or even a safe lane farming Windrunner that we
Generally, when Orange picks up a winner, like they actually like to go offensive.
Dire structures are fortified.
Or the carry row. Ohio is landing amazing shackle shots every time I see him play the Windrunner. So generally, he is the de facto Windrunner player. And previously, I talked about Visage during the pick and ban on game number 1. I personally love Visage on the offensive trialing when you are kind of harassing with your 600 range. If there's anything going on, you're so such a long range style that it lets you chase or back up and still maintain the ability to take fights. So I do look forward to Orange Esport going for that offensive trialing. And against Lifestealer and Alchemist, these are fairly easy heroes to kind of harass them.
So how are Rising Stars going to do their lanes? Are they going to do Life Stealer in the triple lane and Alchemist in the mid lane by default?
I think what they're looking towards to is Lifestealer on the defensive lane and Alchemist on solo mid. Rising Stars is one of those teams that do run Alchemist on the solo mid position. But I think Orange East were very smart ban here, banning out both jungler because Rising Stars love to do their jungle smoke gang that we saw.
They didn't ban out Queen of Pain.
Well, the Queen of Pain does not actually work without the jungle smoke gang, so I think you allow them to actually get the Queen of Pain out. Weaver
Your
Weaver
middle
has
tower
solo mid
is under
position.
attack.
Just wrecks them.
I think Weaver is a really good pickup here. They don't have, it's pretty good for Life Stealer. It's decent for Alchemist. Alchemist doesn't have a lot of armor, so pretty skeptical to the Storm, especially in extended team fights. And he's really easy to lane. They don't have some of the good supports are already taken out. Though none of the jungle heroes that you talked about. And Rising Stars, what are they gonna do as the remainder of their triple lane?
Yeah, I wonder if their supports is gonna have the similar
Your
amount of
middle
impact
tower
as they
is
have
under
in
attack.
previous games without the jungle play. They like to smoke a lot, get early game kills, and more importantly, transition from those early game kills into tower kills. Now without those kind of support available, they're gonna pick up the Rubik at least for now, but do look towards them to pick up some more of the offensive trialing hero supports, because I feel that if you take away the jungle play from them, they have to kind of rely on more of the traditional way of reading their early game, I guess offensive trial lane or just straight up lane dominance. And Lifestealer and Alchemist not exactly too good at just raw lane dominance.
Neither of these teams have exceptional teamfight capabilities. There is a potential for a large shackle shot from the Windrunner on the side of Orange, but other than that, it's a lot of single target spells, a lot of like small AoE, nothing like an epicenter or burrow strike on 4 heroes that we're likely to see yet thus far. But I mean, it looks like it's just, there you go.
Oh my fucking god.
Potential, though, it is always nice to have extra AoE, extra AoE
That was
stun.
the sound
And
of your
can't hurt.
death.
Sinking played very well by Orange. Net and Extinct both played fantastic ones.
Yeah, generally Ned actually plays a Sanking for the team, but he was playing the Shadow Demon last game. But this time we're definitely gonna have Extinct handling the Visage. His win rate is around 88% on Visage. Can you believe that value? 88% win rate on Visage. You might see Rising Star perhaps getting knocked out of the series. Of
Bounty.
course, Sanking, one of Net's
Care.
best hero as well. So I really like Orange Esports draft so far.
Rising Star is taking a very long time. Running out of reserve time.
Oh, the
Sound
fourth
of
pick.
my
Not exactly sure where you go from here. I still think that you want to secure your second support.
Yeah.
Maybe they're thinking about the offlane.
Assassin is decent. I like Jakiro more just because I think he has more reliable AoE, but Assassin not a bad pick lane.
Yeah, it's okay. It doesn't feel like a strong pick in a sense, right?
Your
It's like,
bottom
it doesn't
tower
counter
is
anything.
under
It
attack.
doesn't
They don't
do
have
too
any.
much.
Windrunner is not really that susceptible to next assassin ganks,
Yeah.
and there's no like Queen of Pain, Storm, Spirit, none of those heroes that are like easily killed and easily hurt by mana burn.
Yeah, if Weaver ever gets enough HP to survive your combo, then you're pretty much a useless hero against him as well. So I really wonder what this Nyx Assassin pick is. It going to be a solo mid Nyx Assassin? Makes me think, because if you get a quick blink dagger, that might turn things around a little bit, but I personally don't like this pickup.
I think he's going to have a problem versus Windrunner or versus Weaver. Windrunner doesn't really need mana to beat Nyx Assassin. He's not like a Queen of Pain where you have to rely on the Shadow Strike plus right click. Windrunner has a fantastic attack animation, pretty good base damage, and should be able to zone, maybe even zone out a Nyx Assassin in the middle lane. Weaver can fare pretty well too. Just bottle up the mana burn and just play out super aggressively.
Yeah, I really have no idea how Rising Star is going to lane this, nor what they plan to do with those lanes. It doesn't feel like they could win any lane combination or situation. Rising Star most likely looking for one last off lane, and I wonder where that will be. We saw things like Queen of Pain in the jungle. Lifestealer actually does jungle sometimes for Rising Star as well, so you can't discount that possibility.
I would like to see like a bounty hunter run, just because Orange Esports doesn't have the best 5-man lineup, and even if they try a 5-man with a gem accounting and bounty hunter, they're not always going to come out ahead in team fights. It's not like a Magnus that you don't have to always worry about, or some Chen, for example, is pretty good at just pushing early. They don't have to really worry about that. As a bounty hunter, it's pretty good versus Weaver, pretty good versus Sand King, and just works kind of well with the somewhat aggressive nature of their lineup.
It's okay. I was thinking of maybe of something that allows your Lifestealer to jump in, like a Puck or a Queen of Pain. Something that gives them a little bit more mobility in a team fight, or just figuring out the game. I feel like they just lack the table, and we're saying that because you have Impale, you have Lift, you have Lifestealer, and Alchemist, keeping you super disables on both of those heroes. But it just doesn't feel like it's enough against Weaver, Windrunner, and Sand King. These heroes have high natural survivability thanks to their spells. So not really happy with Rising Star's draft. And let's see how they recover
Your
with this
top tower
very
is
last
under
game
attack.
they have.
Yeah, I think if Rising Stars picks a traditional solo mid now, though, like Queen of Pain, then their just lanes are going to be boned. Lifestealer is going to be forced to jungle, and even if they
offensive try.
if they
Your
safely in
top
triple
tower
lane
is
though,
under
it's,
attack.
I think it's probably going to lose it with this triple lane.
Yeah, Orange is gonna offensive for sure here with Visage, Windrunner, and Sand King. One thing about
Your
this
bottom tower is
triple
under
lane is that if the lane doesn't go well, Visage and Sand King could just rotate off, and Windrunner should be okay. And if it does go well, Visage and Sand King is gonna gang him in a ton, and Windrunner is definitely gonna be okay there. So Orange just have way too much flexibility on the laning, and they're gonna go into Morph lane This could be your solo mid morph lane. This could be your safe lane farm morph. Could be even offensive try morph. I imagine it's going to be a full morph going on the mid lane with morph taking a level 1 and then just out damaging them. You were saying they need to pick up a bounty hunter. They do pick up a bounty hunter, but I'm not sure whether they're going to be trading kills because Orange Esports has so much nuking power right now. It is scary.
Yeah, Morphling is a pretty strong hero, but I don't know. I'm not completely sold on the idea of Morphling. I've seen him dominate a couple times, but
Oh my god.
the amount of farm that Morphlings usually get can dominate. He's pretty good with EB, especially versus Lifestealer, almost all physical damage, and the potential to shotgun any of these heroes is pretty
I mean,
big.
you're talking about all of these mid to late game item choices. I'm just talking straight about laning. Like, who's going to beat Morphlings on lane? Air's not going to do it. Shao Juju's not going to do it. I mean, your best bet is actually Nyx Assassin in the mid lane, but Super is your support player, so I think Morphling's going to eat up the mid lane so easily with a Morph
I think so.
and Wraith Band, and it doesn't matter how his mid game or late game, you don't think it's as strong as before, which I agree with that, but it just doesn't matter. He's going to just lane dominate.
Well, I think they do need to shut him down, but they also have to worry about the Weaver. Weaver is not that, not as big of a concern as Morphling, just because I think he's more susceptible to the Bounty Hunter as well as a Nyx Assassin. The Rising Stars have a lot of potential for just good gank potential too. If they have Lifestealer Bomb inside a Nyx, Lifestealer Bomb inside a Bounty Hunter, Shadow Blade inside an Alchemist, they can just pair up heroes and try and pick off Orange if they decide to split push a lot, which that is usually the case when you have a Weaver as well as a Morpher. So introducing the side of Rising Stars, we have Super on the Nyx Assassin. Looks like he will be supporting on the bottom lane. We have Air on the Lifestealer. We have XTT on the Bounty Hunter starting on bottom, scouting out things for a little bit. We have XDD on the Rubik, and on mid we have Xiao Tu, the Alchemist.
Yeah, Xiao Tucci generally the one role player now will be rotating off to the mid lane. He's going to be playing against Mushi, who already is morphing away, got a ton of stats, got a ton of regen, and I think Xiao Tucci is going to have a very tough time. KYXY is going to be up top here, handling the Weaver, and it's going to be the offensive trialing as expected coming out from Orange Esports Ohio on his trusted Windrunner. If there's one guy from Southern East Asia that says, you play the Windrunner, it's Ohio. His Windrunner is just absolutely legendary. You know, you have Net playing Sanky. I think it's probably the dream lineup that Orange, if they could get their hands on every single draft, they'll get this draft because it's just absolutely amazing of how much they could do with 103 heroes.
Well, we already see two pretty defensive wards out from Rising Stars, one over here and one over here. So they really want to win this triple lane. If you devote this many wards early, you want to win it. And they don't actually have any sentries to block the spawn, but they should have full vision in case Orange does decide to contest this pool. So let's see who has the wards on the side of Orange. Looks like Net placed one already, and let's check out the support wars.
I'm not exactly looking at support wars. I am looking at the fact that Nyx Assassin as well as Rubik, they haven't actually spent any of their gold holding their off lanes or either in solo mid, so they're very confident Xiao Juju will be able to take on Mushi 1v1. I think if XTD gets pulled like a 4-man shield, and of course if he selects Janata as his first spell, I think you actually come off ahead against a Weaver. And that just shows you how afraid they are of this offensive traveling. If they pull, obviously the support's going to have a lot less regen. They're going to be having a lot less ability to fight wars. So, no pulling going on, which is something that these days is all about pulling.
And Mushi get pulled, I guess not too much regen in the middle, but at least one set. He is just even on CS. It's a little bit too early to call who is going to win the mid lane. I think that if he just goes acid spray build and just spams every wave with a bottle, then they'll probably just come out fairly even in terms of last hits. But it depends on how low Mushi wants to go on the agility trade.
Yeah, he is actually taking a ton of damage from the acid spray. You got to be very careful about that courier. Don't want to bait around with that one. That would be a previous courier. Thanks to the acid spray is getting pushed under his tower. He's not going to miss too many stress on control because he has really high damage, but what he's going to do is suffer a little bit of damage from these creeps.
One thing going well for Orange in their triple lane is that they have two full range heroes, and on the side of Rising Stars we only have the Rubik. So Air not able to get that much farm. He's still 5-1.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Ohio and Extinct just right clicking away every time he comes up the creeps.
Yeah, I'm actually fairly impressed
Whatever.
with Rising Star doing okay on all three of these lanes. I expected Xiao Tucci to lose the mid lane fairly badly. I expected XCT to have a pretty poor lane up top because he doesn't have poor man shield, but all things considered, they're doing okay, and even Air is getting some decent farm on the bot lane here. In fact, he's out farming the Windrunner. Called it a 3-lane victory for Rising Star. I'm very impressed with their early game.
Yeah, and mid lane, how is he gonna just farm all game, or is he gonna actually fight once he gets 1, maybe 2 big items?
I think he is going to farm all game, right? Generally, when he plays things like, oh, Courier's going to deliver a bottle. Generally, when he plays a solo mid situation, he doesn't actually show up to much later. Like last game with that Razor, he just got Buckler, Bracer, just got a ton of early game items, but he mostly sat on the mid lane. In fact, it was a fight that rotated towards Mushi, and he got a couple kills in his own lane. Generally, Mushi, aside from playing heroes like Queen of Pain or Pug, he doesn't gank too much, so I imagine Mushi's gonna stay mostly in the lane. If you leave the lane against Mushi, he will push your tower. If you don't leave the lane, then he'll just farm. So that's my guess. I think he's gonna just farm all day.
I've already bottle crowing a little bit, trying to negate some of the harass from Xiao Tuji's constant acid spray spam. No greed from Xiao Tuji, just going the very standard max acid spray and max unstable concoction in the solo mid alchemist role.
Yeah, looks like there was a slight go here against Air. Open Wound was used against Net, but it didn't get the kill. I actually am not a big fan of XCT's skill build here. He's actually leveled up Shuriken Toss. Leveling up Shuriken Toss does give you a little bit of better damage output, but I feel like this is the lineup that you want to actually level up Janata. Harass the Weaver a little bit. He's not going to get the kill, but make his life a little bit more difficult. By leveling up Shuriken, it makes me think that he's going to start rotating up the lane once he gets level 6. Maybe even onto the bot lane and try to win that lane there. And we'll see if that's the case.
Yep, there looks to be some contest around top rune. Mushi will. That could have been very, very dangerous for Mushi. If Xiao Tuji had picked up a haste rune in his bottle, I think that he potentially could have gone on Mushi because Mushi doesn't have any mana for another waveform out.
Said no harm, no foul. The rune was, I think, killed on the bot lane here. Xiao Tuji is bottling it up. Once he gets level 6, he should be absolutely fine. XCT though is having somewhat a tough time on the top lane. 26 to 4 to 12 and 1. That lane just only got quite a bit of I thought he was okay there, but unfortunately, I guess not.
Yeah, the big thing is that Bounty Hunter is still getting a lot of levels though. He's 5.5 even after the fair amount of denies from KYXY.
Burrow Strike gonna go on ball lane. Shackle Shot's gonna latch as well. Air is gonna, oh, nice dodge here. Dodge out Soul Assumption, just spamming it away. Does have 3 charges on the Magic Wand. Oh, Gus gonna salve up very close, and is he gonna dodge a Power Shot? There's no Power Shot dodge, but here comes XCD and Power Shot. It's actually gonna get him off. Air making a slight mistake. XCD not gonna have level 6 just yet. He does have Shuriken Toss. That's 2 kill. XCD going for the body block. Beautiful play right now, and XCD should have 1 more kill. Janata for the kill? No, just a Shadow Walk. Shadow Walk does give you extra damage. What a TP from XCT. That's a TP for 3 kills. None of them track kill just yet, but hey, you'll take what you get.
Yeah, nice reaction by XCT. We usually do not see a Bounty Hunter rotate this early, especially without track, but in the meantime, he is giving KYXY a lot of farm on the top lane. 36-9, able to start pressuring the first T1 of the game.
Yeah, unfortunately for the Lifestealer, I thought he was absolutely fine. The Power Shot just clipped him, and he definitely was not expecting that. Now, Windrunner is going to pick up a face boot, so she's going to be completely fine for most ganks. The Rising Star support is now rotating mid, probably trying to set up a gank against a Windrunner, or not Windrunner, a Morphling. But you gotta have to bait Mushi to use that waveform first, though, because I don't think he's gonna die without using the waveform.
Yeah, unless he just takes a lot of harass from the acid spray, which he kind of can't help but avoid just because Morphling's range is so disastrously low. But Net picks up the regeneration rune, a little bit unlucky for Mushi. He's been sitting on the top rune twice in a row, not able to find anything.
At least he's going to CMAs though. It can't be true. Now we do see the rotation back up on top by XTG. We'll now have a level 6, but again, still losing the lane very handily. You have Weaver as your lead farmer. Weaver's one of those heroes that, depending on what build you go for, he can be an early game threat. If you pick up the Ring of Aquila, even Face Boot and Armlet, Medallion, could do quite a bit of work. But I don't see KYXY doing that. I think it's going to go for more liquid Yasha, that kind of build. Allows it to be more of a late game.
Yeah, but they have a ton of single target spells on the side of Rising Stars. Almost all their heroes have a way to pop that late game. He may need like a early BKB at first, this sort of lineup.
Sure, that's not a bad thing. A player going for this. Now having a little bit of trouble as Mushi is leading in terms of the CS. So as the experience pile a little bit more and more, G Sports, the carries on the top and mid lane is now starting to tick over. And the spot tri lane starting to kind of range and harass against the hero as well. You can see that Winners being able to play up so far up because he's not afraid between Winner as well as Phase. He's absolutely fine. He hasn't even skilled a Winner just yet. Saving that skill point.
Your top tower is under attack.
Nothing just yet.
Yep, I think pretty soon top 3 farmers are all in favor of orange, even though they give up first play.
Your
They
top tower
have 51
is
last
under
inning, 41 on the Morphling, and 37. Next highest is only the Alchemist with 27, so this won't be a super second Alchemist that we saw last game. And still no points agreeable green yet. The score was 3-3-1. Mushi is doing very, very well after coming out about even in the first 1 or 2 minutes of the laning phase.
Yeah, now the onus is on Rising Star, right? They're the team that has to make the rotation. They're the team that have to set up something because if things go on like this, oh my goodness, we're going to see a waveform and XDD is probably dead for sure. A couple more right click. Gonna try to toss it back. Toss back just yet. Pale unfortunately does not hit Mushi on the wave. And salve up here for XDD. Nice body blocking, but super in big trouble as well. A second Burrow Strike going to seal the deal, and there's no rotation coming up. There is a rotation going up top though. They want KYXY. Can he actually Sakuchi away? That's the question. The stun comes through, and the Shuriken toss you actually make sure they get the kill. They do get that one, and that's a direct kill. So good rotation coming out from both the solo mids and securing kill for the teammates.
And the one time Mushi does not go top lane, Rune Spawns there, gives it to Alchemist, and pretty much a free crack gold kill for him. So a lot of Weavers early game potential will be in that game. That just puts things. It just makes things very, very difficult for him. And he doesn't actually have that many items. I thought he'd be a little bit more farm considering his rather fantastic start.
Yeah, now the bounty hunter will have the best early game. Make sure ganks onto the bot lane and ganks into it. Looks like he's gonna make it teleport. There is no central ward up just yet. Checking out the support. They are not ready for this particular game. XDD playing very aggressive. They are pinging him out. I do believe because XDD plays so aggressive, the Dharm might be aware the gang is coming their way. XCT going out forward, his invisibility is running out. They're tracking at net. They toss him back. Does he have Burrow Strike? That's the question. Of course, Shuriken toss and does not destroy the last attack from the right click. Extinct a little bit of trouble as well. Shackle shot is going to hit on XTD. XTD is going to melt. Extinct is still on the run right now. Track goes up, and Track is going to give him so much gold. You're got to be very careful if he's going to die. Burrow Strike is going to hit right on Ohio as well. Courier is going to just run back in time. Ohio now going back and forth, thinking about some more kills, but look at the rotation coming out from XTD. Just an efficient play. 2-0 and 2 before the rotation, now 3-0 and 3, and level 8 despite getting allowed blasted it on the top lane.
Rising Stars, I think, is playing very well there of exploiting the fact that Orange just loves to farm on some of their heroes. And KYXY just been sitting in the top lane farming away, Mushi just been sitting in the mid lane farming away. That leaves the 3 heroes on bottom, especially without sentries, just fully exposed to these mass track kills.
Power's gonna get denied here. KYXY in big trouble. He's gonna try to time lapse. He does get the time lapse off. He is so lucky that Xiao Tuji did not channel the stun as he was TPing. If he did, would have got that kill for sure. Meanwhile, Mushi's gonna find himself finally a root. He's gonna get tracked up. Like quite efficient early game, going with the phase. Personally, one of my favorite build on Bounty Hunter is going phase, Vlad, and then back to PvP. Just nothing but utility for a team, just to start ganking all of the map. Thinking about setting up a kill on the mid lane though, he needs to Shuriken toss.
Yeah, looking at the difference in gold,
they do lift him up, and they are going to have Mana for Shuriken. Pop your magic wand, my friend, and the Chain Stun is going to come through. Mushi is string morphing, but the Chain Stun is not going to there. 2-man Burrow Strike not going to be enough here. And net in big trouble as well. Do they have more track? That's the question. Stolen Burrow Strike. Burrow Strike's going to miss right now. Nice dodge on the net. And double buyback coming out from Morphling. And now the chase goes the other way. But buyback's not going to secure too much as everybody is back out on the side of Rising Star. Orange is losing yet more and more gold.
Yeah, nice try by Morphling to try and morph, but just a little bit too much damage from Rising Stars. I thought that Sand King actually had saved him. Maybe he could have used the illusion runes to scout for a little bit, but you can't always predict those.
No blade required.
Yeah, meanwhile, Lifesteal gets a solo kill against Extinct on the bot lane. So yeah, Rising Star taking control of this early game, and that's probably one of the worst things that you can ask for because you're 8-3 against a Bounty Hunter who's involved in 7 of the kills. That is just absolutely scary to think about. And now he's already on the bot lane. There is a Sentry War available, but open wounds into track should be more than enough. Where's the open wounds? Oh, only 200 cast range low.
Well, even with that though, Rising Stars is still behind. They're about 1,500 gold behind, even though they're up 5 kills. Some of them track kills, and Orange has 1 more tower, which accounts for most of it, but still, I'm surprised that Orange has been finding this amount of farm.
Yeah, I mean, they're just lasting a lot better in lane. Again, the Weaver outlasting
Your
the
bottom
Bounty Hunter,
tower
Shao
is
Kahn
under
getting
attack.
outlasted by Mushi, Morphling. So it makes sense that Orange will still be able to maintain their early game goal lead, but
Your bottom
that can't
tower
last
is
too long.
under
Because Rising
attack.
Star support hero is getting a more experience because they're definitely getting more
I
hero
see
kills.
where this
Thinking about
will.
setting a kill on the mid lane, you talked about staying on the right side if you don't know where the enemy support is. Although maybe not so. Maybe it doesn't apply to this particular game. XTD's on the run right now. He runs back up. Burrow strikes back in. But here comes KYX1. I think XTD... Oh, nice lift here on the low ground here. They want to kill Xting. I think they will kill Xting. Xting though, before he dies, going to drop one hit. Nice Burrow strike. That's going to be hitting onto two. Wait for him in. That's going to get dodged here by Super. Well played. And unfortunately, Bounty Hunter gave all a pretty big streak as he dies. Xiao Chuju runs up a cliff and decides to drive everybody away. Losing your Bounty Hunter there and unable to track on more people before he died is a pretty big deal.
Yeah, I think that they should try and focus down this Bounty Hunter as soon as possible. For some reason, they do not have Sentry. They took that engagement without one, but I would like to see maybe an early jump from them. They don't have the best 5-man lineup, but they have to be constantly scared of Nyx plus Lifestealer plus Bounty Hunter.
That Nyx is on the bot lane thinking about using a couple open routes.
Roshan has fallen to
thinking
the
about
lead.
making it go to Ohio, playing somewhat aggressively. Let's see if they're going to find that angle. If Ohio ever gets lifted, he's pretty much dead. XCD now running back in, but you're not going to do it against FaZe. What a pause from Mushi. And I think that was spell being stolen, I believe.
Quickly.
Well, apparently his computer dropped. That's what Mushi's trying to say. So
Combine and conquer.
difficulty coming out from Orange Esport.
Man, Alchemist is super underfarmed. I think he probably should have had mech around now. I think he has 2 of his components coming on the chicken right now. But 2 of his mech components.
Oh, from Alchemist.
Yep. I think most Alchemists can finish a mech by this time. Sometimes we see them go down a little bit off lane where it's just like deny fools, but mid lane versus a morph lane, I think he probably could have had it by now.
I mean, that should be expected, right? Mushi just has way more damage, has a very clean animation. Sure, the early game atmosphere was pretty annoying, but once Lava Crow got online, it was hard for him to keep up. Weaver up top, let's see if we can get the mid game. So, kind of your mid-game superiority lineup, very reminiscent of, well, not reminiscent, but very standard. This is your Orange lineup. Just go from
The enemy's bottom tower has fallen.
And I didn't actually see anyone drop from the game. I'm not sure who exactly is having computer issues.
Uh-oh, lights are being turned on again.
Oh no. Oh no.
Oh no.
Dire structures
What do you
are
think thus
fortified.
far? Do you think that Orange can come back in this mid game even versus the Bounty Hunter?
I think Bounty Hunter was really scary when he was 7 out of 9 kills early on, but a couple of those kills were not tracked. He finally died a couple of times, and I think Orange is starting to really outfarm the enemy. The supports are getting decent level on the side of Orange, so unless they get a couple more track kills, I think Orange is going to be kind of stopping the bleeding, and they will be able to come back in this game. But
Alright, well we have unpaused, and Lifestealer has resumed the game.
Yeah, all you gotta do is just be aware that there's a Bounty Hunter off the map. I mean, if he's not getting successful track kills, he's actually not really doing much out of
he's
here.
3-1 at 5 though.
Well, a lot of it was before the track kill came online. Yeah, I'm not gonna say he's playing poorly, but I think you could actually stop a Bounty Hunter from kind of going crazy if you prevent those track kills from successfully being used.
I think that hero's still a little bit ridiculous. Sure, he got nerfed with the armor, but
I would have just shot at him and be like, yo, bro. Come on, man. Think about that.
yo, bro.
But yeah, I think Alchemist needs to farm his mech, and once they do have the mech, look towards Rising Star to play a little bit more aggressively because, again, they're getting out farm, and what they need to do is either get a couple team fights successfully going their way, and Track's going to be very helpful in terms of earning some gold back, or they should start looking for more tower pushes.
See a smoke on top lane?
Well, it's going to be a hard one to get kills against, especially when you don't have Track, and well, KYXY already sent it coming. So Rising Star, in game number 1, they had a lot of successful smoke gank early on. Really can't find a similar style and similar rhythm in this game. These smoke ganks are not really effective here.
And Orange, although they have like decent map control right now and are ahead on farming, there's like almost no way they can do Roshi this early. Rising Star really caught out here. They don't really have any.
Your middle tower has fallen.
Mushi, if he can replicate a very good hero, is also other than that, they don't really have the damage. They don't really have the heals, the sustainability to do it. But usually that's what you want to do when you're playing this sort of passive early mid.
Yeah, I don't think Orange cares about taking a shot. Right side definitely wants to happen as we can see it track out. Orange says we will just outfarm you once we get into the game. Their hero is absolutely difficult to gank up. How do you actually gank a Morphling? How do you actually gank a Weaver? And how do you gank a Windrunner, right? You can get those ganks off. We saw the 4-man gank on the mid lane, but he was able to survive for such a long time. And this is definitely another mid-game build as we see Mushi going for a BKB Morphling. None of that shotgun, none of that link gets through. Just one damage ability to fight early and often. And Weaver would BKB, Morphling would BKB. Once they get both of them up, look towards them, start to take Roshan fight. Look towards them, start pushing tier 1 to tier 2.
Yeah, and Weaver and Morphling just farming away. Those are the two most important heroes on the side of
Radiant
Orange. They
structures
have
are
not
fortified.
died
Your bottom tower
multiple
is
times on
under
any of
attack.
these heroes.
Oh, Ned's gonna burrow strike, trying to take that haste, but he does actually
The
take it. Now the
enemy's
fight could
middle
actually go the
tower
other
has
way if they
fallen.
make the chase. They don't,
I
they
see
back
where
off.
this road ends.
But yeah, I mean, Rising Star looking for some key items, Orange looking for those key BKB, and I think the supports on Orange, we've been talking about a lot about them in the previous game, is that they don't mind the game going slower. Sure, you have to fork out a couple of gold for sentries and dust. At the same time, they're not really dying too much. Oh, looks like we're gonna see a waveform to lift. That's a 4-man gank. They are gonna get a kill on Ohio. Where's the track? That 4-man gank's gonna worth a lot of go if they get those track kills off. Miller's not really being able to help out. Meanwhile, as this 4-man gank's going on, Weaver says, all right, man, let's get some push going on up top.
And I think Mushi will also be trying to push bottom in the process. Is there a glyph up on Orange? Yes, there is. The tower's about 800 HP, but they're going to chop at it fast.
Yeah, I mean, in fact, I think tier 2 might go down on the top lane, and tier 1 might go down on the mid lane before that tier 2. So tier 1 go down on the bot for the Dire. Working on it, still working on it. Now glyph goes up. Tier 1 tower in the mid lane is trouble. Tier 2 top lane is trouble down to about half. In fact, are they going to get the tower? They do. But it's a very, very expensive tower as they lost a ton of damage on these towers.
And we see a TP reaction from the side of Orange right now, but still very, very passive game. Rising Stars, they kind of want to keep up the pressure of these guys, but they have Alchemist, they have the 3 right now on him. They are relatively content to play the passive farm game. Meanwhile, on the side of Orange, they have so more items up on the board. Right now, Lincoln's a Manta style, all of these are pretty good, but he just needs a ton.
Yeah, I mean, he's getting that far. He's done 94 CS in 17 minutes. Not too bad. Anytime you hit over 100 CS before the 20-minute mark, you're doing pretty good, especially on the mid lane warriors. You know, you miss a couple more CS because of the kill, you miss more CS because of the he's doing a fine job. In fact, he's also done a ton of tower damage to that tier 1 mid, so Mushi playing fantastically as per usual. Weaver up top. I also believe, we haven't really talked about too much as we see Mushi making a replicate of his ally, and then the entire team smokes up for a big dive on mid perhaps. One thing that we haven't talked about too much is that Xiao Tuji plays a sort of big alchemist and plays one row. If you play the 1-row alchemist, you're likely to get items like assault, or sometimes even blast. A little bit more aura-based items. And that makes the replicate from a Morphling a lot more effective. Instead, if you're playing more of a solo mid alchemist,
They're coming from behind.
well, they're going to try to get that burrow strike off against XCD. Shackle shot's going to hit on Xiao Tuji. 2-man burrow strike. One is dead, and now Len channels his ultimate. Going on Xiao Tuji. Xiao Tuji is not going to survive that. Does have a magic stick. Not popping. 2 easy kills. And where was Bounty Hunter throughout all of that? He was nowhere close.
Yeah, I'm not. He has a Nyx bomb inside of him.
I don't think you could want 2v5 against all of this.
Looks like he's looking for something. Do they have any sentry wards? Wow, this is ballsy.
Yeah, they're pushing against the Bounty Hunter. They do actually blind us, although Bounty Hunter. That was close. That was close. Still thinking of doing a little bit of chases here, but I think the Duke's up. 2 towers have gone down in the favor of 1G sport. And the gold graph now going very much lower in the favor of Die. Looks like he's going to make that kill. There's no track just yet. Burrow strike forward. There is going to be a track finally. In fact, they're going to try to make that kill attempt. Where did that Shuriken toss go?
I have no clue. But, I mean, they wasted a lot of time there. Bounty Hunter was headed top. He ran all the way mid with a life stealer inside of him. And then he went mid, tried to go on one hero, Couldn't even get it. Ton of farm wasted on the side of Rising Stars.
Yeah, and now they're going to try to get a smoking up top, but Weaver's already out of there. So, yeah, I think Rising Star is really falling behind. We talked about that Bounty Hunter it's a very scary hero if you get those track kills off, but they haven't actually got any track kills off because Orange is just rotating a lot better. And when you don't get track kills off as a bounty, glorify melee creep doesn't actually do much.
Gives you move speed, man.
Gives you move speed and not nothing
is
much.
the heart of battle.
Well, Orange has been doing a fantastic job of holding on to their towers though. They still have 5 towers up. That is pretty impressive considering the amount of pressure that Rising Stars has been attempting to put out in this early game.
Yeah, but I mean, the more pressure they put out, the more of their failing because these ganks are just not working out. And when you have Bounty Hunter, he doesn't help push that much. He's up to 1900 gold. I wonder if you're going to be going back to that flat or if you would have had the they actually can do Roshan now with the Allen versus on the side. And I just don't think there is a problem with launch coming up the Rising Star. They actually just can't walk into the Roshan pit. And instead they're going to try to go get a tier 1, but that tier 1 means so little strategically, so it doesn't even matter if they get that.
Yeah, it's nice to be able to creep to pull a little bit, and it just makes it a little bit difficult for the opponents to take over their own jungle, and it looks like they are sweeping it right now, Rising Stars, but Weaver has the Aegis, the Moral, and Texas BKB status for a bit, stinking not even close to Blink Dagger at all, and Morphling has his BKB complete, so if Rising Stars just chooses to go up here, they can just surprise them with a BKB, overwhelm them with the Aegis, and potentially take even more, so I fully expect Rising Stars to back off if
Radiant structures are fortified.
They do have mech on cooldown though. They were forced to use it during the team fight, and it will be down for like 5 more seconds. So Orange maybe he's gonna wait a little bit. Although they did give up the information that they do have BKB, so
The
Rising
enemy's
Star
middle
smartly
tower
backs
has
off and
fallen.
decides to farm. I think if you're Rising Star right now, just farm. Just say, hey, Alchemist Lifestealer, let's do pull it up.
Unless there's like super easy kills around the map.
Right. They saw Mushi on the bot lane, and you can see that XCD does have Sakuchi. That's probably one of the best spells that you can steal in a game like this. But yeah, Rising Star should just look towards the farm up. Just give up the smoke ganks. I don't think smoke ganks is going to be effective. But if you look at Mushi on his farm, man, BKB is already up. I think the next item of choice is going to be Yasha into Mantisao. Just kind of all late game carry. Also start looking towards Orange to push a little bit more aggressively. It doesn't make sense if you get BKB and decide to farm with it. Because you could farm Yashas and then farm much quicker. Well, because top lane they're going to try to kill on KYXY. They do get the kill on the Aegis, and they know that that's only the way to back off. Not a bad way to start this kind of nightfall in the mid game.
Yeah, not even a bad trade for them. Orange is still playing very passively. We haven't seen much of Mushi right now, but he's 2-1-1. He only has 1200 gold after going to BKB threads.
Who does have 200 gold on BKB?
Yes.
200 gold? What? Somebody says have 200 gold on BKB thread.
Roshan has fallen to the Radiant.
You said somebody has 200 gold after going
More blink, 1200 gold. Yeah, there's a smoke from Orange. The only one that is not smoked is Mushi and his replicant. So all they have is like a regular Weaver going in. This could be pretty dangerous for them.
Immortality!
Oh, XCD, a little bit over XCD. You have cooldown on the Sakuchi. Nice dodge here on the Zero Strike as well. He's gonna get shackled, but not a hackle though. He's gonna go down star regardless. A ton of people coming after. Look at the chasing power Orange for, especially the nuke. KYXY is gonna Sakuchi pass. He does have time lapse, so not exactly too afraid of it. And Orange already getting ready to set up shop on this tower. I think it's time for you guys to have Band and Rising Star. There's no way they hold that tier 1 tower.
Yeah, their main anti-pusher is down with the Fade Bolt. They got the Acid Spray, but just not enough to hold this tower.
Yeah, and they will back off. In fact, you see that tier in the mid lane trying to bring down a tier 1 as a result. Not going to do it though, because good TP from Mushi. They've lost the tier 1 up dot on the ball lane. And that's the big difference between Orange Esport and Rising Star. Whenever Orange Esport gets smoked, they get something out of it. They get a tier 1 tower, they get a gank on a key hero. Whenever Rising Star gets smoked, they're not doing anything. They're going to try to set it. Oh, nice BKB used it. And now the fight might turn other way as here comes the entire rotation of the Orange Esport support. Oh, the Sun's going to go on Xiaotuchi. No Shackle shot just yet. The Storm goes on top. Burrow Strike is going to hit on Xiaotuchi as well. Oh, Shackle not going to latch, but just a mini stun. KYXY popping his BKB now, chasing everybody. They want XCD. Nice Lester invest back. There is a Sakuchi being stolen from XCD. Very, very good way to kind of stem the bleeding as Rising Star makes a very swift retreat, only losing the Alchemist. And it's only a solo mid Alchemist. In fact, they are going back and trying to set up shop. Really don't think this is a good idea from XCD.
He has the Shikuchi though, but that does not make you immortal.
It does not. You do not have time lapse either. Shackle shot not going to fly through and hit from Ohio. Now, Orange Esports is, again, a lot more efficient with their ganks, a lot more efficient with their rotations. And Rising Star, when they make three or four ganks that doesn't work, they're not farming at all. And they need a farm.
Windrunner has to jump on, like, I think they could probably just get a little bit more back control like that. I'm trying to see if the Rising Stars has any more jumping work on the map.
Yeah, let's quickly check out how we're doing in terms of map vision, right? If you look at dire map vision, they see everywhere, and that's pretty much one of the most important things that you can do as a bounty hunter. Bounty hunter has a blast, so that means he could jungle away, so kind of any type of free vision you get, kind of seeing him popping out mid or popping out of jungle is pretty important. Conversely, if you look at radiant vision, they have a ward up top. That's it. They have no idea where the orange supports are, no idea if there's smoke, if they're stacking or pulling. That means you could only really farm with heroes like Light Flare. XCD, jumping forward, thinking about Pelican, little do they know, right? Orange has a full barrage of hero backing and moving it up on the game.
That bait, too bad there's no blink on a Sand King.
Yeah. Although Xiaotuji and Air has been pretty good at there's a dodging it.
Yeah, and that's 1,300 gold away from it, but 26 minutes in, I think you'd be a little bit more on, but he thinks twice about it, goes back to the jungle. Looks like he'll probably go for a Manta style after his
I cross the final.
Yes. On the run here, let's see if Dead of being forced to do down. Gain a little bit of kind of rotation and mid lane to destroy that tier 1 Lucio already here. This is something that's very common. They actually, someone that sets up a strategy. They go for things like BKB first. They don't use it to fight too much. They just mostly make sure that they can hold on to their early game power and then farm a little bit more because of having survived blue worlds. Normally you say, hey man, if you're gonna just want to farm, why don't you just go down to first? It's a faster farming item. But because of you having BKB, they can keep up their early game powers and then farm with their lead. Why the hell?
I'm actually not really sure why they don't have what? Oh, I'm also really not sure do they have a mech on. Oh, I don't know. Anyway.
I'm fine. No, he's not fine.
I'm not fine.
Can you not confuse the both of us? I know you're.
Well, Rising Stars, I think it was like 9 to 5 for them, maybe 10 minutes ago, but they've only been able to pick up 1 kill in like the last. Good job splitting up around the map, putting the pressure on Rising Stars, and taking down this vision. This early gem on the Windrunner is actually hurting them a lot. They have 2 invis heroes. Looks like Alchemist is not going to go for much.
Guys, use your mech to heal up. Shit.
Hop inside a bounty hunter. I talked about the life stealer bombs earlier in the game, but
take the towers. Take the towers.
The fact that they're grouping up with the vision being denied away from the Radiant side.
Radiant
So I really think that
structures are
XCD
fortified.
and the rest of Orange, or not Orange, the rest of Rising Star should give up this mid game, right? Just say, hey, we're losing the farm already. Our gank's just not working out. We have tracks, but we're not getting any track kill. Just give it up. Just farm. You have Blast on your bounty hunter. He can farm the jungle. Air can farm in the lane. Of course, you go Grievous Reed and farm away without it. But they're not doing that. They're going for mid game items. They have a BKB on Alchemist after mech, so he's not going to have any late game impact. But Blast is not really doing anything if you're not farming because he's been looking for kills, which is not finding any kills. And finally, Air, I guess he's getting Basher, but I don't think Air could solo carry. So all things considered, Rising Star to me is they are playing their lineup. They're going for more mid-game wins, but they're just not finding any kills. And when you're not finding kills, you got to make the transition. You got to have a plan B. Plan B should be fun. Yeah, not really fun.
I totally agree with you there. I would like to see this Ancient stacked a little bit more just so Alchemist can get those big items. I think he's pretty slow item progression 1, 2, and 3. He has phase boost mech and BKB, but this is not the super stack Alchemist that we see from a lot of the other teams. Windrunner on the other hand, phase boost Force Staff Mech, and again, this early gem. Rising Stars have been trying to put a lot
Oh,
of
that's no
vision
good.
out, but they don't have any vision out right now. They have the gem, and they've just been doing a very good job of protecting the
Your
jungle,
middle
protecting their
barracks
heroes,
are under
and
attack.
protecting this T1 tower in the middle. With this
Structures
up,
are
it's just
fortified.
really difficult for Rising Stars to move around the map.
Like the Rising Star's gonna try to set up the get. Set up on top. They're gonna see Weaver, but again, they just don't know where everybody else is. You have to open up with the If you open, then KY Squad's gonna get the hell out of here.
And he has a pretty difficult here.
They don't even make that kill. Again, 24 heroes up on the top lane, not huge. And Shatuchi is farming away though. There is farming away, so I guess maybe they're saying, hey, we can't win this game, let's farm. And they are farming. So you see that gold graph still staying around 3,000 gold. It's not going to go anywhere. And unfortunately for Bamboo, we might have to resolve it. We've only gained 2 over bets in the series, so if Rising Star makes a comeback, we might go to a game.
So what do you actually farm for if you do decide to switch gears and farm it with this outfit? What item, what name is that?
I think AC's decent, I think Shiva's decent. I actually prefer Shiva's in this case over AC because if Replicate goes on you, that's a pretty threatening aura that you can feel. I like Basher, I like Art, just anything that allows you to stay on the front line and draw some focus off of the Lifestealer. So,
and here's the smoke. Lifestealer is infected inside Xiaotuji.
yeah, they want to, well, it makes
they have
sense.
a replicant visage in front too.
It makes sense that if you're going to go for all of these mid-game items on both teams, you know, every BKB possible, that you go for more of the mid-game victory, right? You take the Roshan, looks like we're going to see a long wraparound with the smoke. Let's see if it's going to be successful. Roshan is dropping low quite quickly. They just do, they will not get there in time. Yeah, they will not get there in time as Roshan is dropping low. Unless they they have to win this team fight very, very big time here. They're going to focus on Ohio. He forced staff and some back up. Double BKB is used and Super in big trouble. Super is going to go invis. They mech up and they're going to get 1 kill at least so far. No, he time lapse. He's going to be completely fine. They don't get anything done. Xiaotuchi's BKB is running out quite quickly. Shackle shot. That's going to hit on 2 hero. Ohio is just playing out of his mind. Super in big trouble as well. The sun's going to come through. Vendetta's out here and Super is going to be on a run. He's going to self himself out and TP back out. He's going to be absolutely fine. But that team fight really is just not going well. They were just undecisive. They were going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth.
The enemy's
Roshan was
The hesitation really cost them.
yeah, and then they decided to wrap around, but by that time, the Roshan has taken way too much damage. And they focus on the Windrunner, fully realizing that she has Force Staff and she could have easily gone out in multiple directions. So Rising Star just making kind of mistakes after mistakes after mistakes.
Great BKB pops by Mushi though on the Morphling. We saw the first one on the T1 tower as the Impale was flying out, and he just popped it at the perfect time as Rising Star was right about to engage on him with a Channeling Alchemist. Just pops it and just immediately tries to kill the Nyctas. And again, Ohio with the shackle shots, these hackle shots.
Yeah, I mean, Ohio, that's why I say he's probably one of the best winner players in some of East Asia. Rising Star though, because they're not going to make a push. In fact, perhaps back in the mid lane, making go here. You see XTD does force out himself onto the low ground. Sends up Burrow Strike as well. No harm, no foul. Although Sanky
And looking at the XP and gold graph, Rising Stars has not been able to get an advantage at gold lead at any point during this game, even with the Bounty Hunter. Still about 5,000 in favor of Orange. They've just been playing greedy, and Rising Stars has just been somewhat scared of playing aggressively. They didn't have to versus the way that Orange has been playing, but they only have 11 kills, 33 minutes with the Bounty Hunter.
I mean, they got 9 of those kills in the first 15. They haven't found anything. XCD's gonna get a lift up, but he's gonna get shackled. Burrow Strike. Oh my God, that is a hackle. Not sure what angle that one is, but XCD's gonna go down. Try not helping out there at all. I think they have been playing aggressively, but they've been trying to walk around in a 2-man gang party with like XCD and the Lifestealer. And they just don't find any kills because Orange Esport,
The
they
enemy's
just
top
hide well,
tower
they turtle
has
well.
fallen.
At the same time, I think Rising Star needs to play aggressive as a 5-man. Just jam 5 hero down the mid lane and say, hey, we're gonna pick up tier 1, fight you over tier 1. We have Abbadon, we have BKB, we have Mech. Why not make those type of plays? But I think it's too late to make this type of play right now with Aegis up on Orange, with the team fight pretty decent now as you can see that Sanking gonna hit level 10 and 11 very soon, and he's gonna have a Blink Dagger. We saw how Orange was able to turn the game around with Blink Dagger last time, and they were losing them. I think Orange could just put the game out of reach once they have Blink Dagger back up on net.
I mean, they're forced to do like 3-man these neutrals now just because they're constantly scared of Orange's lineup.
Your goals are
I mean, it should be the other way around, right? They should,
Right, it should be the other way around.
They should be afraid of your Lifesteal Bomb, they should be afraid of your Bounty Hunter, but Bounty Hunter is farming away now, but they're just getting farmed already. Mushi with the Mantis now will farm a lot quicker. Even will farm well, and supports Ohio, Net, Extinct is just farming the enemy jungle. That's because of very strong Lifesteal as well. This game is not looking good.
Mushi has been doing a very good job of split pushing and not dying. Again, pretty good BKB uses by him. We see another BKB from the Bounty Hunter. It looks like it's just going to be mass BKB wars.
Yeah, BKB's okay on XCD because he definitely needs the HP to stand in front line. You definitely need something against that Sangi, who is going to become an issue. And of course, there's a ton of new gaps from Ohio, so I understand that one. It's a pretty good hero for him as well.
I think that Rubik is definitely trying to get spell seal so that he can go full strength, but not getting any luck with that.
Trying to get more. He already has spell seal.
Oh, yeah.
Spenmu is losing it. XCD though, he's gonna wait for him back out. They're gonna focus on Mushi. Mushi pops the BKB, but out of mana at this point here. And Xiao Chuji looking for a stun. He's gonna fly through against one of these illusions. Tier 1 tower, Tier 2 tower on the bot lane, still okay. Extinct's gotta be careful here. If you track up Extinct, maybe you can actually go for heal. They do track him up, and the entire team is on full retreat. Mushi already peeks out of there, and I think these guys are gonna die. So Mushi getting out of there and losing a Visage Bird as a result, not the worst loss.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad. Mushi still managed to survive, TPing out. I think maybe they could have tried to bait the Aegis potentially, but that will be going down in about a minute. I doubt that Orange will be able to take another fight while the Aegis is still up on Mushi.
I really think he should stay in the front line because he had the Aegis and just kept right-clicking on something.
Yeah, I think so too. Well, I guess they don't want to take any risk. They're just willing to suffer one casualty in the Visage, even though he was track gold, and just continue on farming.
Yeah, and again, you're farming against a lineup that has decided to maybe we need to farm more and more. And Rising Star is getting some far back up. Xiao Juji working on Assault Curious. He's going to have it right about now. And let's see what Lifesteal has been working on. Lifesteal is working on not just dying on the ball lane. He's going to invest. Got to pop back out. Got to arm the toggle like a boss. He does get an arm the toggle. Now BKB on XCD trying to get the kill here. And let's see if Ares going to go right back in. XCD does have phase boost though. Does not go for the gem on Ohio. Ohio's looking for Shackle. That Shackle not going to allow these birds trying to gain the position here for a stun. Not going to find him.
Yeah, I thought Sankin was going to follow with a blink stun after using his magic stick, but not able to follow up with that. But again, they don't really need kills. They just need to get farm, secure more farm than more fling. He's sitting at a really healthy 1860 HP.
I mean, if you look at the net worth here from Mushi, I think he's actually started losing it. Oh, XCD's got to be very careful. Track goes up here against Mushi as well. XCD making that rotation. They're not going to get a kill with Mushi on all. In fact, they're going to say, let's go for the tower instead. Mushi debuffs the track. There's a glyph being popped here. They want Super though, and Super, he's detected right now. Ohio's not here, at least not yet. They are going to dust Super. Super needs to actually pop it and Impale and gain some a little bit of movement speed back. You actually do lose movement speed when you dust it and invis. That's because of dust tempest as well.
Speed is the hard one.
Yeah, I mean they haven't gotten any kills in like the last I don't even know how long.
Nobody has gotten
one kill in like 5 minutes. Yeah, this is definitely playing in favor of Orange, and they don't really want to have the risk of just losing out on the mid game. If you fight mid game and you win even through like the track wars, you still have to deal with the late game track wars. And this way they're like not running the risk. If they just lose a lot of kills and early skirmishes in the mid game, they'll just fall way too behind on the track kill, and the Rising Stars will just continue to play aggressively and won't be able to hold the gem on the side of Orange, won't be able to turtle, play defensively, and I don't want to say they're turtling, but they're just out farming Rising Stars really heavily right now, punishing them for playing aggressively and not using so much.
I'm not sure if Orange is going to have the late game capacity as suggested. I mean, Air, if you look at him, he's got to go for the Abyssal Blade, so that's going to nullify the double BKB from Weaver and the Mark. That's going to allow you to have a very certain way to kill these guys. More importantly, Xiao Juji has kind of gone back into full carry mode, stacking this ancient campaign.
Radiant structures are fortified.
He's going to right-clicking the creep very hard as well. Up to another 2,000 gold after finishing AC. If you look at the gold graph, going back towards 0, all of this suggests that Radiant is slightly coming back. So I wouldn't count out Rising Star just yet. They're doing a 5-man smoking on the bot. I don't think they'll find anybody. I think they need to smoke gang less and park more. Because every time they smoke gang, they start to lose back on the farm track.
There is no Weaver there, though.
It's such an obvious smoke gang when the Green Wave is going through the tower and nobody's defending it. And Orange Esport will back out.
And there is the completed Abyssal Blade on the Lifesteal. I think that Mushi really needs an Ethereal Blade just so he can try and kite the Lifesteal or even save his teammates if someone manages to get Abyssals.
Rising Star does not go for the tower deny, even though there's 3 heroes under there. Okay. Awkward. Pretty cool.
Dire victory.
Again, Orange Esport is slowly getting out in terms of the late game.